Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain for You. Sunday afternoon, I'll say happy Monday because that's when this is going to post. Today's topic is going to be kind of a follow-up to yesterday's understanding pain. But today's is going to be about understanding fear and its role in chronic pain. So, we're going to take a couple of breaths first. We're going to breathe in the courage and exhale the fear. Breathe in the confidence, exhale the doubt. This last one's for you, whatever you want to do. Alright. So, it's a little bit windy, so if you hear a little wind noise, you've got my apology. So, fear. Let's see if we can understand it. The brain has one primary job from the moment you're conceived until the moment you pass away. And the brain's job is to figure out how to keep you safe. And so, by default, it's on alert for any signs of any type of danger. And anytime it senses anything that is scary, basically the brain, the autonomic nervous system, and thereby the body tend to react to that. So, you've heard me say before, as it relates to chronic pain, fear and attention are what kind of makes pain become persistent or chronic. And the fear aspect of it is really based on the brain saying, there's a problem here. Danger, you're staring at this all day long, you're freaking out about it, you're in a panic, you're running around to doctors, they can't figure out what's wrong, or they can, and they point to an MRI or an imaging study, and you're broken, and you're going to have a lifetime of pain, and the fear builds, and the anxiety builds, and you can't stop staring at it, and that's what makes it chronic. But all the while, your brain is just trying to keep you alive and keep you safe. And so all of these various inputs that pretty much convince us that we're broken feed the fear. And the fear feeds the pain. It feeds the brain's need to keep us safe from all of this danger. And so it's really a weird, vicious cycle that we get into, right? We might have an instance of pain, and if somebody were to just say to you, don't worry about it, it'll be gone soon. No problem. But the media, your family, your friends, the doctors, the therapists, the physical therapists, the acupuncture, the massage, you name it, everybody says, be careful. You're going to hurt yourself. Don't bend that way. Don't bend this way. Don't lift too much. Don't lift too heavy. Don't bend at the waist. Bend at the knees. And so we've got all these inputs that instead of having a one-time instance of pain and going, whatever, I don't care, and then you shift your attention back to living life, in that case, it would have never become chronic, but instead of that, you've got all these inputs from a very one-sided view of pain. That it means there's something wrong, and it means you need to fix it, and you need to go to these experts with the white lab coats and fancy medical degrees on the wall. And it is bizarre how we can become more traumatized through a single instance of pain, right? And look, you've heard me talk a lot about what causes the pain in the first place, and I just talked about that a lot yesterday, the various ways that it can start in the Understanding Pain video. But really, fear is what fuels that pain. And so, I mentioned this before in a video probably a year ago, where there's kind of a lever, right? And there's two sides. One has safety, the other has pain, right? So if safety is really high, the pain is going to be really low. And if the safety is really low, which means danger's high, the pain is going to be high. And so knowing that, and knowing that fear is what fuels it, what if we could use this accurate information, this accurate thing called mind-body syndrome, or the stress response, which can create these pains, and all the misdiagnoses from the medical system and all the misinformation from these websites that say, there is no cure and you're stuck for life, learn to live with it. The best we can do is manage it. I mean, there's a whole industry called the pain management industry, right? They don't even believe that they can help you get rid of the pain. Otherwise, it would be called the pain cure industry, not the pain management. So everything about the way chronic pain is handled in our society globally is that you're broken and you've got a long road ahead of you with a lot of pain and suffering. And of course, that just ramps up your fear. So once we understand that the significance or the severity of the pain has to do with the fear level and the brain's perception of danger, right? Thus fear. We can take a different proactive view of what we need to do to solve this problem. Because if we've ruled out the disastrous and catastrophic medical situations, right? You're not dying of cancer, you don't have heart disease, or you didn't have a stroke, everything reasonably seems fine. So then there's nothing catastrophic happening. And so the only thing that makes sense is this mind-body syndrome, this stress response, this stress illness, this stress-induced pain syndrome. And knowing that that's the case and you're really not in any catastrophic risk of anything significant medically, then we can, with intention and purpose, begin to teach the brain that all of those fears that have been improperly, misguidedly input into our brain from everybody, from the media to the internet to the doctors to the therapists to the everybody, your family, your friends, your spouse, your kids, your parents. Oh my God, be careful. We can use that accurate information and we can use that ruling out of the major disastrous, catastrophic medical issues to start to teach our brain. We're gonna take that danger and we'll bring it down. It's gonna lift up the safety. And when you do that consistently, the brain is gonna get the message. It's gonna turn off the pain. Because again, the purpose of the pain is to stop us from doing anything perceived as dangerous. But if we can use accurate information and an accurate assessment of what's going on with you, not just somebody in Sarno's book, but with you, all of a sudden the fear comes down. When the fear comes down, we don't have to stare at it all day long because we kind of know it's not a big deal, right? And so it's your job to use accurate information, a calm response, to reassure yourself that you're really not broken and that there's really nothing significant or dramatic or catastrophic happening. And therefore, I'm not saying there's nothing to fear, because I get it. The pain can be pretty awful, you know. Kicked me in the ass a lot of times, and it was very uncomfortable. But when you combine the knowledge that you make it through every single bad day with all of the accurate information that it's really not caused by a major problem in your body, you can learn to grab that fear dial and turn it down. So fear has a strong role in chronic pain because it forces you to stare at it, which means if fear and attention are what makes the pain become chronic, those neural pathways get wired, the solution is to use accurate knowledge, rational thinking, logical thinking, a really good solid strategy on how you can choose to respond to the pain so you don't feed the fear cycle, but you actually learn to turn it down consistently over time. When you turn down the fear, you'll be able to resume focusing back on your life with ease, as opposed to thinking it's impossible to stop staring at this pain. It hurts so bad. Well, again, using that logic, reason, calm, reassuring approach based on an accurate assessment of what's actually causing the pain, you can shift your attention away and you can learn to turn the fear down. And when you strip away fear and attention from chronic pain, the brain learns that you're actually okay. That safety lever goes up, the pain goes down. You can literally get yourself out of weeks, years, decades of chronic pain. And I see it all the time. There's people in the comments section that are telling me how great they're doing, telling everybody how great they're doing. There's success stories all over the place, not just mine, the other TMS groups. You know, I'm not the only guy sharing this information. Sarno's been teaching this stuff since the 70s, so nearly 50 years. This stuff is real, and this stuff works. And so it's your job to recognize and go through the steps, understand TMS, do the assessments, and then once it says you've got TMS, make a decision to accept that, because once you do, you've just turned the corner and you're on your way out. If you're hemming and hawing, I don't know, maybe it's physical, maybe it's not, it certainly feels physical, you're delaying your recovery. Simply put, if the assessments indicate it's TMS, it's mind-body syndrome, it's this stress-induced pain disorder, it's time to accept it. Make a decision that that's what's going on. And as a result, the fear knob just gets turned down a couple of notches. So that's my interpretation on pain and its role in, or not on pain, on fear and its role in chronic pain. It's your job to teach your brain that there's nothing to be afraid of. Use your rational, logical thinking brain, accurate information, accurate assessment of what's going on with you. When the brain gets the message, it'll turn off the pain. It's very reliable. So if you get a pain flare-up, best thing to do is say, oh, okay, no big deal, I know exactly what's going on. I don't have to figure out exactly what thought, activity, situation triggered it so I can avoid that. No, that's just feeding into the fear, because you're now seeking to change your behavior to avoid it. No, the quicker you can jump to, I know what's going on, it's just this mind-body syndrome, this stress-induced pain disorder, no big deal, I shift my attention back to living life, the shorter that flare-up is going to stick around. So, what do you guys think? Comment below, let me know if this was helpful. If you like it, share it, give it a thumbs up, and I guess we'll see you guys tomorrow, Tuesday. Have a great Monday. Take care.